Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, I got it. I fixed it. Oh, this is going to be a mess. And I'll tell you why. Welcome, by the way. I am your Heavenly Father, and I'm glad I was muted because I just forgot my real name. I got myself a second shingles vaccine yesterday. Not the COVID, the shingles vaccine, which you have to get when you turn 50. And it's very important, and it's much, much better than getting actual shingles, which I understand is a very painful, itchy nightmare. I don't want that. I've gone through 4 years of nightmare already. So, yeah, we got volume. So, I am absolutely loopy tonight. I got it yesterday, felt fine, a little bit sore in the arm this morning. Around about 3 o'clock today, I lied down because I was a little bit tired. I had a quick nap. 45 minutes later, woke up, still wanted to be asleep. So I should probably be asleep right now, but if I sleep right now, I fear that I will not wake up. Or no, that I won't be able to sleep tonight. See, I'm just loopy. I feel very friendly. I feel like I've had like a glass and a half of white wine. Perhaps a spritzer. And I love all of you. All of you. Whoa. Producer Joanna, her daughter has COVID. So that's why I'm broadcasting. That's the reason I decided I would broadcast. Yeah, producer Joanna's daughter is 20. So hopefully she'll be fine. So, but let's keep her in mind. She's got a cough, sneezing, cold, flu-like symptoms. So, and at random says, you were warned. Hopefully not to producer Joanna. To me, a couple days ago, at random said that the shingles vaccine was not yet. I feel fine. I got a little bit stuffy, but just like, am I getting a cold? So I think I might even go get myself a COVID test just to be on the safe side. Hi, Heather. Good to see you coming in from Portland. So Rick Gaetz, commonly known as Matt, referred to as Rick by disgraced President Trump, he's going to be on the Hannity here. So I thought we'd just jump on for a little while, let you guys talk to each other and ignore me while I take a look at Rick Gaetz. Axios. I can't. I just can't tonight. I forgot the end of the word Axios. Axio. You guys just talk amongst yourselves. I'm just gonna read the chat with the rest of you. So loopy. I'm so tired. Here's Mr. Hannity. Hold on. Let's find Rick Gaetz amongst this mess. Lindsey Graham was on saying that if you get witnesses, you get witnesses. Don was on earlier, it looks like, in the show. I'm trying to see if there's anybody interesting. He ragged about AOC. Okay. And then Rick Gaetz is supposed to be on. He said he would be on. They made fun of Jen. Let's go watch them making fun of Jen, because it's just a self-own every time. Hey, thanks very much, Austin, for the super hearts. I appreciate it. I'm going to turn up the volume in a second here. No, I'm not feeling sick at all. I'm just tired. I'm achy and I'm tired. I feel fine. I'm fine. This is so. I would do it again in a second if all I feel is like taking a nap. And I feel honestly I'm a little nice. I love you all today. Joanna, who I love. She's in Philly, quarantine in her tiny studio. Oh, okay. So yeah, Joanna right now, she's in Los Angeles, and her daughter has COVID and is sick, but not hospital sick, just flu-like symptoms in Philadelphia. So let's all support Joanna somehow. If someone has a private plane and they want to fly, but here's the thing: when somebody has COVID, all you can do really is bring food to the door. So hopefully she'll be okay. Well, she will be okay. I mean, the odds are just so astronomically against a 20-year-old getting seriously sick that she should be fine. No underlying conditions. She's no underlying conditions, right? So Joanna has got stuff going on. In the meantime, to distract everybody, let's watch a little INHANNITY.
briefing questions before they're even asked. Now, in response, some so-called journalists are defending the Biden White House. Of course they are.
I'm being remiss here. If you're joining us for the first time, the best place to chat is in YouTube. So go to youtube.com/KevinLeeFather. The chat there is only about 3 seconds behind. Twitter is usually about 30 seconds behind. So you seem like you're a little bit delayed. Speaking of delayed, congratulations to David Mickelson on being first. And here's back to this. I'm a little delayed today. I'm not even like I'm hungry, but I don't know for what. Do you ever get like that? I have access to food. I could order Postmates. I could get almost any kind of food I wanted right now. I don't know what. I can't decide. Marcy, thank you very much for the super chat. Marcy Grover contributing with a super chat. If you'd like to contribute, paypal.me/KevinLeeDad. Venmo is a great way to do it. Alan. Is Alan in here? Because Alan, eventually I did get your PayPal yesterday. Thank you very much to Alan. If Alan joins, let me know. You can go to KevinLeeFather.com and become a patron. I figured I might as well come on tonight. It wasn't about Joanna, but I'm glad that she has the opportunity to share with you guys. Probably the best thing that has come out of all of this live streaming that I do is that you guys have the opportunity to share your lives with one another. And I think that's nice because we all need human contact, as strange as it may be right now. Jessica just had a cherry turnover. I want a cherry. That's what I want. I drove by a Popeyes today, guys. I don't know if you guys follow me regularly, but we talked about where you can still get fried apple pies. Remember how good the pies were at McDonald's? They were fried. They stopped frying them years ago. They're just baked apple pies. I'm sorry, but fried apple pies, so much better. Apparently at Popeyes, fried apple pie, and I thought, well, I should go through the drive-thru at Popeyes, but I just had food, so maybe I should do that now. Okay, speaking of doing something now.
That's all they're ever going to do, claiming it's just business.
Here we go.
New report lays out how the press office is reportedly screening briefing questions before they're even asked. Now, in response, some so-called journalists are defending the Biden White House. Of course they are. That's all they're ever going to do. Yeah. Claiming it's just business as usual.
Yes.
But don't you think they might be...
What are we going to talk about today? They email them questions. That's how the process works. And the press secretary doesn't just do the press briefing, but they email questions sometimes in advance. Hey, we're going to be asking about this. And it might be a wide topic. There might be specific questions, whatever. They don't have to do it at the press conference. The press conference is so they can do it live, and that the general public, the American people who voted people into office, so that's a chance for us to watch and get the information. But there's absolutely nothing unusual about asking a reporter, what's on your mind today? That's called prep work. That's what should happen. Now, if we find out that someone is saying, no, you're not allowed to ask a question. You cannot ask that question. We will not call on you. You cannot be in the press room. That's a problem. Now, I read the article. There's nothing in the article that raised any red flags for me. I know Jen Psaki doesn't like to say red flags. Nothing in there was a warning sign to me. Now, if other stuff is going on, there could be something nefarious going on. But so far, they seem to be pretty transparent.
Singing a slightly different tune if this was, Donald Trump, Sarah Sanders, Kayleigh McEnany.
Sean Spicer.
But when it comes to...
the other one who never did her job, never had a single press conference, that one.
Jen...
Stephanie Grisham, for the record.
And Psaki, she'll circle back to us.
Right, that's what she does. That's what she's getting you the information. But by the way, we saw it happen in real time. Questions were asked. I don't know. I'll circle back to you. She got the information. She gave them the information. There's no difference between that and asking beforehand. What are the questions that you got? Great. I won't have to circle back. I'll have that information for you at 2 p.m. Oh, the hysteria. My fainting couch. By the way, if you've been watching the Twitter this evening, number one, I love you, man. Number two, I need a couch in here. I'd be watching the fuck out of some movies with you right now. Bunch of movies going away from Netflix, including Goodfellas, which I own because it's a fantastic movie. But if you don't own Goodfellas and you haven't seen it, see it or rewatch it before sometime during this month. It's going away from Netflix. Basic Instinct is going away. The Other Guys, which I'm thinking about watching tonight. Will Ferrell, directed by Adam McKay, who's just an amazing storyteller. He did Vice, the movie about Dick Cheney. Good morning, Wendy. Good to see you. Anyway, yeah, so we need to raise money for my couch in the studio. That's what I need. My green screen's all rolled up. So I could bring down the green screen and give myself a couch, but it's not the same as a nice comfy couch. I think that would be ideal. If I knew, for example, if I got the COVID, God forbid, if I got the COVID and I knew I had to quarantine for a while, what I would do is set up this little studio, this little table that I have here. I would set it up by my bed and I would continue to broadcast. That's how much I care right now because I'm loopy.
It's continuing to endure daily struggles with the White House briefing.
Rick went right away to the black leather couch. Please, Rick. You just have to go black.
For example, today she decided to mock the Space Force.
Yeah.
That was now an entire...
The Space Force? The made up? Yeah. We had a Space Force already. It's part of the Air Force. Part of NASA. We were doing fine.
Branch of the U.S. military I think every American should kind of be proud of, but what do I know?
I was proud of it when it was in the Air Force. It was doing just fine. They got themselves a flag and they look like Star Trek uniforms.
Ask whether the president has made a decision on keeping the scope of Space Force.
Wow, Space Force. It's the plane of today. It is an interesting question. I am happy to check with our Space Force point of contact. I'm not sure who that is. I will find out and see if we have any update on that.
It's the Air Force. It's just duplicating what was already being done.
And of course, Psaki continues to promise the press corps that she'll get right back
Starfleet is based in San Francisco. That's correct, Marcy.
to them. Or as she calls it, I'll circle back with you.
Wow, that's owning her. Boy, something's going on with Hannity. He is not nailing his insults lately. Listen to this. I think, does he have a crush on her or something?
Space Force. Circle back with our team on that specific report. I will have to...
Hold on.
And see if we have any
Oh, they're going to play the circle back montage. But this is, I love when Hannity just nails it here on the dig. Here we come.
update on that.
And of course, Psaki continues to promise the press corps that she'll get right back to them.
Yeah.
Or as she calls it, I'll circle back with you.
I'll circle back with them. Is it maybe he just had a shingles vaccine? We don't know. Or she calls it, I'll circle back with him. That's where his monitor is down there. I can be Sean Hannity. Or she calls it, I need a pen. Oh, I have a pen in a package, and it says Alaska Mile Plan on it. Remember when we used to go in airplanes and go places? Now that we have Space Force, airplanes are obsolete. So I'm looking forward to that day. All right. I'll circle back with the yum. I think he says yum.
I'm happy to circle back with our team on that specific report.
Right.
I will have to circle back. I'll have to circle back with you on. We'll circle back with you. We'll circle back
Yes.
with you on this today. We will
Yep.
circle back. Certainly
That's her job. That's what she does. Yeah.
circle back. We'll circle back. Circle back. I'll
Right.
circle
Wow.
back. I hate to disappoint you, but
Yeah.
I will have to circle back. I'll circle back and circle back. I often note I'm going
Yeah.
to circle back. I hate to
Okay.
disappoint conservative Twitter, but I am going to circle back.
Okay.
I'm going to...
And then she did. And she gave the answers to the 14 circle backs or whatever it was. I don't know if it was 14 because some of them were the same. But yeah, she got the information and then she gave out the information. I got to watch Narcos. Narcos is a fantastic series. I watched most of the first season and then broke up with the girl that I was dating at the time and never got back into it. Now I've forgotten, so I can watch it all again. So... but really, I mean, the relationship was mostly based on shows that we binge watched together. Which, I mean, let's be honest, that's what all relationships should be based on.
circle back on the show. I'll see you in about 19... Oh, Laura's on. Anyway, early stumbles for the Biden team.
Wow.
Maybe why
Wow, he just owned her. Ha ha.
they're desperate to censor conservatives and silence them. And, well...
Oh, hey, thank you very much, Tracy. $5 for the couch fund. Appreciate that. $5 super chat from Tracy B. I appreciate that, guys. And I am watching just in case somebody wants to contribute to the couch fund over PayPal or Venmo. I don't know that I'm going to get a couch, but maybe I'll move to a bigger studio than the Outhouse studio, and I will get a couch. I don't know. Do I have it? Trying to think. I don't know if I'll find a couch. I will find the fuck out of a couch. Here we go.
Yes, cancel their viewpoints because look at this. A report in the New York Times explaining how Joe Biden is apparently being urged by some so-called experts to appoint, quote, a reality czar to tackle disinformation.
Oh!
That sounds like a ministry of truth.
I am available.
Welcome to statism, authoritarianism, in your socialist utopia, my fellow comrades. Isn't it interesting how the same people who claim to be for the free flow of information, they're pro...
A fact checker. So they're going to hire a fact checker. All right. So that the American people know the facts as opposed to, oh, the Dominion machines changed all the votes in Georgia to the lizard people. Okay.
First Amendment, they're also the first to call for censorship and silencing and canceling when it doesn't fit their far-left worldview. Of course, here on this show, no, we don't boycott, call for censors, try to silence. We make fun of you, we expose you, but we never try to silence you or cancel you. First Amendment, freedom of expression, it is something that makes this country unique, special, and great.
It is actually not unique at all. Many countries, many countries have freedom of speech and free expression. What? There are many wonderful things about this country that make this country unique. Freedom of expression is not one of them.
Here with
I mean, what I'm saying is it's great, but it's not unique.
Action. Fox News contributor, media reporter for The Hill, Joe Concha.
Okay, he needs to be canceled. Let's go on and find Rick Gaetz. Okay, and what's going on here? Is this part of the show? Let's find out. No, it is not. I don't know what that was. The My Pillow guy got shut down by Newsmax because Dominion and I don't know if Dominion sued Newsmax or it was the software company. I don't even know. Okay, so here's something. I'm trying to play it.
Fantasies instead of actually, taking steps to improve the quality of people's lives, safety, security, quality education for their kids. Listen to Texas Governor Greg Abbott laying it all out in his State of the State address. There's a lot to learn here.
Oh, okay.
Now, other states like California and New York, they use...
That's what we do now. When we do our State of the Union, we bash other states. Is that what's about to happen?
Use heavy-handed government tactics that drive away businesses.
Okay.
The Texas...
California has the 5th largest economy on the planet, but sure, yeah, drive away business.
Legislature on the
there's a valid point to that, of course, somewhere, but
other hand, has built a framework that helps small businesses thrive.
Okay, so why did you have to rag on California? What was the purpose of that, apart from being a dick?
We're not going to let
How many times have you seen athletes win the Super Bowl and say, hey, you know what? We played a great team game. We stuck to the plan. The Bills fucking suck. I mean, they're the worst team. What are they even doing here? The whole AFC. A joke. No. The Bills played a good game. It came right down to the end there. It was really exciting for the fans. Why do you have to rag on California? There's no reason for it.
And Texas follow the lead of...
We get couches in here all the time. I should just get one of those.
Cities like Portland and Seattle and Minneapolis by defunding the police. That's crazy. Some government officials across the country shut down churches during the pandemic. Even in Texas, some local officials tried closing churches.
Okay.
That is wrong. Politicians from...
Well, I mean, we've got 20% of the world's dead. I don't know what's more wrong there. Stopping congregations from, what would you say? Congregating? Or saving lives? Actually, no, that's the same thing. But anyway.
The federal level to the local level have shouted, heck yes, the government is coming to get
Nobody has ever shouted, heck yes.
your guns.
Yeah.
We won't let that happen in Texas.
All right, here with reaction, author of the bestseller Firebrand, Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, along with former acting director of National Intelligence Rick Grinnell. You know,
Can this be right? Hold on. Marcy just sent me this really nice couch. Hold on. This is on the Amazon for $450 with Prime. How do they do that? How do they get me this couch? How do they ship it to me for $450? I don't think that's possible. Anyway, I would just get I mean, there's couches around. You can find a couch. Just drive down any street in LA. More than 3 blocks, you're going to find yourself a double mattress with stains and a couch.
the Second Amendment, that's one. Cutting taxes, red tape, securing the border.
At random, didn't Beto say what? What did Beto say?
There's energy independence, constitutional judges, free, fair trade, peace through strength, safe neighborhoods, good schools, safe health care. Tell me what I'm missing, Matt Gaetz, because that's it. That's America first.
There's a lot of teeth going on here. A lot of, I don't know. I don't know. Is my forehead just as big as his? I guess it probably is. I just don't top it off with a little tower.
We certainly haven't missed
What is it? What's strange about Rick Gaetz' face? What is it that irks me about that besides him?
sounded like Governor Abbott's announcement for president in 2024, and I have it on pretty good authority that Governor Abbott has already inquired with former President Trump about the handicap accessibility at Camp David. He'd be a great candidate. We're also proud of our governor in Florida who's embraced freedom.
What? Hold up.
Independence, constitutional judges, free, fair trade, peace through strength, safe neighborhoods, good schools, safe health care. Tell me what I'm missing, Matt Gaetz, because that's it. That's America first.
We certainly haven't missed what sounded like Governor Abbott's announcement for president in 2024, and I have it on pretty good authority that Governor Abbott has already inquired with former President Trump about the handicap accessibility at Camp David. He'd be a great candidate.
So Matt Gaetz is saying that Abbott should run in 2024? Trump watches Hannity. What is Matt Gaetz doing?
We're also proud of our governor in Florida who's embraced freedom. But Sean, wouldn't it be nice if America's largest state, California, were able to live a little more freely? I think right here tonight on your show, Rick Grinnell should announce that he's seeking the governorship of California, give folks out there a reason to believe and have hope that their futures can be brighter as well.
Why? Because Republicans keep winning elections? Is that why, Matt?
Rick Grinnell, I'm not going to let that die. I'm going to let Matt Gaetz take over the hosting of this show and let you answer his question.
Okay.
Look, my friend Matt Gaetz is somebody who really knows how to get media attention.
He really
warrior,
does. Oh, he's a warrior. And so, by the way, I watched you in the plot against the president. You were great. Thank you for both for all you've done.
Oh, well.
Go ahead.
I don't know what that is. Probably Dinesh D'Souza.
Thanks. Look, Sean, I think what you just pointed out with leadership in Texas and what Matt Gaetz has pointed out about leadership in Florida, that's what California needs. We are dying to have somebody who listens to the science. I mean, we have a governor, Gavin Newsom, who shut down the beaches. Now, this is not part of science. We have a governor who plays politics, but we also have a state that is completely run by one party. If you want to
The Plot Against the President is a show about Devin Nunes.
have the insiders from one political party and the well-connected constantly get what they want, then you have to keep electing the same people over and over, and that's what we have in California. I think Governor Abbott is exactly right. We need more freedoms. We certainly shouldn't be shutting down churches or beaches.
Rick Grinnell, are you announcing that you would consider running for governor of California? Because if you do, if you would want it, you have mine and Matt Gaetz's endorsement.
That'll kill him.
That's probably true.
Look,
all right, I will oppose you if needed. I'll do whatever you want.
Look, again, we have a one-party system in California. Anyone who wants to be a governor who's a Republican in this state is going to have a very tough time. I'm more interested in trying to find ways to fix our problems.
Oh, so it's a challenge. He thinks he could do better for the citizens of California. But since it's a challenge, he's not going to do it. Okay. All right.
In California.
America first, people.
Voter integrity is incredibly important. We do need to recall Gavin Newsom. That's obviously a different day. But
I wouldn't mind seeing Porter run for. I'll vote for anybody that runs against Newsom, Democrat-wise, anyway.
In terms of long-term fixes,
well, hold on,
it's going to take many years.
I want to get on this
ahead, Matt.
because.
Yeah, hold on. God doesn't care where you are. My mother was a Lutheran minister. God is everywhere, so you can have your service wherever you want to. She was a Lutheran minister. She would often have more people gather for the donuts and coffee in the basement after than the actual service itself. It was a social club.
It was a tough time. It was a tough time to take on the intelligence community and
Yes, Grinnell used to be the German ambassador.
declassified documents.
I should say ambassador to Germany.
And Rick Grinnell.
And then he was the director of national intelligence with no intelligence experience whatsoever.
Didn't shy away from that at all. It's my expectation.
Sorry, guys, I thought I just heard something. Like, you know how you hear something outside your headphones? But nobody is here, so I don't...
That in a recall election, it would be a
Oh, it's just the bumper music coming up. All right.
very different electorate in the state of California. A Republican could win, and Rick Grinnell could be that.
No, I think Newsom has done an absolutely terrible job. He's an absolute hypocrite. I call it like I see it. And he is. He's a hypocrite. He had that dinner at the French Laundry indoors, with the doors shut, with 9 people during COVID. At a time he was telling everybody you can't play tennis outside with each other. Yeah, no, he's... and plus, I mean, come on. Do we trust his judgment? He was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle. I have no affinity to Newsom. None.
Republican.
I second the notion, but we're gonna. You're lucky because we're at it.
Let's see if we can get that. Here we go.
Empathetic.
This is President Biden at the ceremony for Officer Sicknick, who was bludgeoned to death with a fire extinguisher by the people that Trump told to go to the Capitol and fight like hell, or they weren't going to have a country anymore. This is a dead police officer.
But another...
Gonna go back.
That's what I was thinking about, because I met then Senator Biden when he was in those hallowed halls, day after day, and he was 1.5 decades. During some of his toughest times, during some of his best times, he had officers like these, like Officer Sicknick, there to protect him, just like...
Can you just jump ahead here?
Now as well. Be here and to do this, we know his respect.
Okay, hold on. I guess I have to go back farther. Further. There's the honor guard. Here we go. It's back quite a ways.
Riots, when he had moments where he could be that person. We saw him at CNN town halls. When
There's
he
the president
and
the first lady arriving. And I think we should just listen and let them pay their respects. President Joe Biden and the First Lady Jill Biden paying their respects to Officer Brian D. Sticknick, who lost his life in the line of duty on January 6th, protecting the Capitol and the lives inside of that Capitol. Dana Bash here with me, Chris Cuomo with me as
he was a hockey fan. He loved the New Jersey Devils. He had a girlfriend. He gave up his life trying to protect senators and congressmen, many of whom, congresspeople, many of whom do not believe that the man who ordered the mob of tens of thousands of people down to the Capitol to do something about the vice president, to do something about the senators, to do something about the congresspeople, the man who ordered the mob to the Capitol to fight like hell, or you're not going to have a country anymore. Many of those same congresspeople and senators do not believe that that man should be held accountable. He was a hockey fan. Two other officers subsequent to the invasion who answered the call of the country during the invasion have subsequently committed suicide. OJ is correct. He was a hockey fan and he was a hero. And a maggot bashed in his skull with a fire extinguisher is what we are told so far. But totally okay to let the president, the disgraced president, the one-term president, totally okay to let him run again.
as well. And Chris, Dana is talking about the empathy of Joe Biden before the president came in to the Capitol. This president, also a very religious man, walking up to the table, putting his right hand on the table.
I'm a little bit loopy tonight, so forgive me. I used to have a limo business back in Seattle. And one day an officer responding to a scene, somehow he was jumping from one side of the freeway to the other. And the belief is that his gun, he had a rifle, somehow caught, as he was jumping, caught the freeway wall. And he plummeted from the trestle to his demise. I drove the family in one of the limos. I want to say we donated. It's not important. What shocked me and what this was not the city that I lived in. This is north of Seattle. This is Everett, about 30 minutes north of Seattle. What really, really hit me was as I was driving, we drove from the funeral home to the local baseball stadium where police officers from all over the western states and Canada had come. Had come to show their respects. And I started driving along and realized maybe a journey of 2 miles. But they didn't just go from the funeral home right to the funeral home, to the baseball stadium where they did the memorial service. The police officer said, "Just follow me." And the police officers drove right through downtown Everett. And the streets, the streets of Everett were lined with the people of Everett. They had come out of their office buildings. They had come out of their schools to pay their respect to the family of the fallen officer. I'm sorry. To pay their respects to the family. And when it really hit me and when it hit the family, when we rounded the first corner and started down the main street through downtown, there was a little boy, 7 or 8 years old, standing amongst the crowd. And he saluted. And someone in the back pointed it out. And we all looked over at the little boy, and he just stood there saluting the family of the fallen officer. And the waterworks began, but I had to keep driving.
And then over his heart, and then going over to look at some of the flowers and really shaking his head, and a collective sigh, I'm sure, across the country of grief. In a moment that, quite frankly, made me tear up. I cannot believe where we are, but hopefully we will get beyond this point to a much better place, Chris.
You know, speaking with the president about his faith, he keeps it very simple. Obviously, he's a Christian and a Catholic, second to ever hold the office. But his faith in these matters comes down to two.
It was a particular hot day in Seattle that day. Probably got up to 90 degrees. And I can remember 2,000 police officers from Arizona, Mounties from Alberta, police officers from across the country, all dressed in their dress blues, or in the case of the Mountains, their dress reds. In the case of the officers from Arizona, they had their dress, the sand colors uniform, whatever the dress happens to be. But the way the stadium is put together is that the sun beats directly on the stands. And the officers, all of them, every single officer at the memorial service stood in the sun without a break for an hour and a half or more. And to them, it was nothing. Related story, but not anything in particular, was one of the family members, his fiance. His fiance lived probably 2 hours away down south, and the police officers the motorcycle cops, when she was ready to go, there was a wake at a local bar. When she was ready to go, the police officers said, "You got her. We're going to Lacey. You go as fast as you want to go." In a limo, in a 10-person stretch Lincoln Town Car limo. I was like, really? They said, yep. Keep it safe, but your town car, that's what we drive. So if you're, however fast you can go, you get her home, but you get her home safely and we'll clear the path for you. So they pulled over the freeway all the way, and the hour 45 trip maybe took about an hour. I got that limo up to about 120, 130 to the point where it's kind of floating, and I'm like, okay, I'm slowing down. But they just stayed ahead of me. They stayed ahead of me and behind me. And after about 10 overpasses, I thought, man, there's a lot of police activity, because we would go under an overpass and there would be sirens, lights, not sirens, just the lights, right? And after about 3 or 4 of those, someone in the back said, what's with all the police activity? And someone else said to the fiance, that's for you. Every police officer in the entire area knew from the radio that we were on our way. And so they dropped whatever they were doing. I don't know why I'm crying. This isn't even a sad story. But, and she wept again. But that's just something that they do as police officers. And the weird thing is that they live that life sort of knowing this could happen any day. But there's just no way that it should happen during the electoral count. And 45 senators have already decided, nah, not worth it. It's not even a criminal punishment. All it would do is say, okay, Trump, we don't think you should be president anymore. It helps them, gets them an opportunity for example, Abbott, the governor that we saw from Texas, gets him an opportunity to run not against Trump. Cruz ran for president last time in 2016, and he was the last one left standing up against Trump, if you remember. It gives Cruz an opportunity to run. I'll be back in a second.
Words, love mercy. And it is a very ample instruction, no matter what you believe right now. We are honoring Officer Sicknick because of his dedication to something bigger than himself. And it is the highest ideal in our society and our democracy. And there's so much pain in the Capitol right now. Mm-hmm. There's so much pain in his family. There's so much pain in his brothers and sisters who did the job, who there but for the grace go they. And the shame of it is if we don't learn the lesson and don't honor the sacrifice by getting to a better place. And we have not done that since January 6th. And so for those who want to honor the officer, good, you should. But for those in power who...
At Random says, it reminds me of the firefighter funerals in New York City after 9/11. At Random was living in New York at the time. They put calls out to residents to attend funerals because there were just too many of them for them to cover. And they didn't want anyone to have an empty funeral. And the people showed up in droves. A lot of human beings can be very decent people. All right. I think that's it. I'm going to go watch The Other Guys, or The Other Guys on Netflix before it goes away. Do something nice for somebody that you love. That's all. Be nice to a police officer the next time he pulls you over. Or she. This is part of their job. But honestly, Brian Sicknick, the fan of the New Jersey Devils, it should not have been part of his. It's part of the Capitol Police Force. He's supposed to protect against terrorist attack. Oh, wait. We can end the broadcast, or I can show you a little bit about some video that Anderson Cooper showed a little bit earlier tonight. So if somebody wants to watch that, it's just video of the rally. You know what? I'm not even going to taint this with that. We'll watch that another time, guys. I'll go back to a shot of the memorial. I think we'll just leave it here, guys. I don't think we should end this on a higher note. There are some wonderful human beings, there are some terrible human beings. And one human being, whether he was terrible or not, I don't know. But he was a hockey fan, so he's not completely bad, no matter what. One human being gave up his life for our democracy because a president who had been voted out by the people of America just could not psychologically handle it.